Hello. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. It's a very exciting day. It's a very intense day. It's a very intense week. It's a very intense month. And I'm just so grateful to be able to do this kind of work with a large group of individuals. I've done this kind of remote viewing battle work for quite some time. So it's really exciting to have all of you here. I want to actually first go ahead and start off by saying there is going to be a lot of energy. And on top of all of the energy that we're going to have today, there is also a giant geomagnetic warning for the planet, which means that right now at this time, we are getting hit with some of the largest electromagnetic frequencies or solar flares that we've seen in quite some time. So there actually is a warning going into tomorrow that the electrical grid could be affected. So I just want to let you know, pre-warning, that we've got a day full of solar flares, and that intensifies the energy. At exactly 1:23, not even kidding, today, I got hit with this huge, massive energy wave, and all of a sudden I was seeing geometric patterns like in between my view and the wall. I was hit with this wave of sadness. I feel like it was the collective sadness. I felt incredibly anxious. I felt extremely nauseous and sick to my stomach. And I just felt completely overwhelmed and completely out of my body. One half of me was like, is this a psychic attack? The other half of me is like, this is an upgrade. But now I realize with these geomagnetic warnings that most likely was a solar flare that was hitting us, or maybe my location at that time. So they are upgrades is really what it is. Not only that, but we are actually coming out of a 59-hour complete Schumann resonance blackout. All right. So for almost the past 3 days straight, there have been no readings on the Schumann resonance. I have so many questions about what exactly is going on right now. And all of those questions will be answered after this battle video in the Galactic Federation Summit. So right now we do have more spots open for the Galactic Federation Live Summit. If you are in a decent time zone or you have the energy to follow through into that GFL Summit, then I highly recommend it. I think it's going to be very intense and spicy and lots of information and so many questions. So there's actually a 50% off coupon. Check it out in the live chat in Zoom right now. And that will pretty much, make it a $5 ticket for the GFL Summit. So check that out. And if not, no worries. You can always grab the recording afterwards for $11 to really answer a lot of the questions that are going on right now. It feels like everything is accelerating at a rapid pace. Okay. I also brought some friends. I have Grayson here. I have Bhakta here as well. She's not fully painted yet. I also brought some of my actual light weapons. I don't know if I've ever shown these publicly, but I really felt called to have them close to me. This right here is called a Vajra. This is an ancient relic from Tibet, and it is supposedly supposed to be the energy of a diamond mixed with a thunderbolt. It's called a Vajra. So I am going to be working with this as one of my light weapons. I also have another ancient Tibetan relic here as well, and I have all my light weapons and relics here, and my crystals and my sage and all my things. And this is supposed to be basically a dagger for the darkness. This is basically a demon dagger with Ganesh on the end of it. So I just felt like the need to bring those out. I highly recommend to bring out whatever it is you need not only to get through this battle, but to stay grounded in your body through this battle as well. You do not have to be experienced in remote viewing. You don't have to even know what you're doing here, but you're here and you're here for a reason. I'm going to take you step by step through what we need to know in order to do this the right way, in a very safe and protected way. I also want to mention that I pulled 2 cards. The first card that I pulled for this battle in particular is called All Paths Lead Home. Inner authority, intuition, and turn your gaze inward. That's where we're going to get the power, is that inner connection, that inner power. The more connected you are to yourself, the greater that strength and that connection to source. So keep that in mind. And then the second card I pulled, which I thought was so spot on, the Great Severing, Mars energy, anger, conflict, and softening into love. The Great Severing. Guess what we're going to do today, right? So my main intention, I thought about this really hard today, and honestly, I could not do anything else today other than just conserve my energy because it was so intense and I haven't been sleeping over the past probably 2 weeks. So my greatest intention for today is for all of us to do what we need to do to shift the ultimate timeline of the collective into a higher frequency. Because that's what they're doing. They're messing with their timelines, right? That's what's happening right now at this time. And it's funny, something that just popped into my mind was the fact that they're doing experiments at the same time this solar energy is hitting the planet. So smart of them, but it's also, I don't know, whatever. I'm not going to judge it. Basically, it just came to me that it would be very smart of them to do these Hadron Collider experiments, these timeline shift experiments during a great geomagnetic storm warning, okay? So I wouldn't be surprised if today is the peak of the battle that is happening. I did tune into Archangel Michael as well right before this. And here's what he said. I have a couple notes here. So I tuned into him maybe a couple hours ago. He said, "We need the humans to help because they're more powerful than us." And I didn't really fully understand that. But basically he was talking about, it's almost like you love your best friend, you really want to help them with something, but they're not willing to help themselves. This is what's basically taking place. The angels in the angelic realm can help us all day and all night, but if we are not ready to help ourselves, then nothing is going to change. It has to be us asking for that timeline shift. Okay, so it's really important. Once again, the mission objective for today is to shift the timeline into unity. I do not have a location in particular that I want to go to with all of you. I feel like that's going to come through quite naturally and effortlessly. And I'm going to plug in my computer before I lose power. All right. Okay, so all right, one last thing before we deep dive. I know that there are a lot of healers and a lot of obviously light workers and light warriors in the room right now. But I know, and you should know who you are, that specifically there are a few of you who are very, very good at holding space and protecting. So I'm asking you who are grid workers, collective healers, and space holders, I'm asking you in particular to hold space for this entire group while we shift these timelines to the planet. Not all of you need to actually be in battle. We need most of you for the battle, but we need a really solid handful of you to really hold down the protection, the invisibility, the high vibration, and the connection to the group and to the grid, all right? And I know that Sharma is in this room and she is doing the same thing. She protects me and she protects each one of you who are participating. So we need more of those as well. I wanted to put it out there that it doesn't have to always be about the battle. It's also about holding the space for the people who are in the battle. Okay. All right. So this is going to be very, it's a very important meditative practice. Obviously, it's a very active meditative practice that we're going to dive into. But the biggest thing that I want to basically mention before we go step by step is, if you are in an environment in your home right now that is an environment of distraction, I want you to be one step removed from the experience. Or if you feel like you cannot fully participate, 100% or at least 80% of you, then maybe just hop out of the room to allow someone else into the room, because we might get to full max capacity, and then watch the recording after, okay? And the reason why I say that is because if you go through the steps and you're in the middle of it, and then all of a sudden someone's knocking at your door, or you gotta, exit halfway through to go make dinner, I would just be worried that you're not navigating your energy to the best of your capacity. Okay, so it's fine if you want to participate and observe and still have distractions and still be doing things around you. But I would say don't put 2 feet into it if you are going to be distracted, because I want you to be safe in what you're doing. And I don't want you to be halfway through and pull yourself out of it. Okay, I just want to mention that energetically. It's not going to be super detrimental, but it's important to clear and separate those frequencies. All right, so let's just go ahead and get started. Oh, sorry. Got my equipment everywhere here. All right, let's go ahead and get started with quieting our minds, closing your eyes, and taking some really deep inhales and even deeper exhales. With every inhale, you are breathing in pure white light frequency that is building in your system, reviving your DNA, accelerating your cells, and advancing your soul. And with every exhale, you are releasing all of that doubt, exhaustion, fear, tension, stress, chaos, emotions of your day, of your week, and just really get centered. Just really get to a place of just observing everything neutrally. Get to a place where all you're doing is listening and navigating. The more neutral you can be, without expectation, attachment, or reaction, the more experiences you will have today. I also want to let you know that even if you cannot see what I am seeing, I will be your eyes today. I will tell you everything that is going on. And what's really beautiful is you are going to be there anyway. You don't have to see or even feel anything to participate, to be there. All right, we need you, each one of you, for all different reasons. So be patient and understand that you might have a very vivid experience today as well. I want you to think about something or someone. Maybe it's a place, an experience, your wedding day, the birth of your first child, the last time that you walked in the forest, that meditation that advanced you. I want you to go back to a very strong moment of unconditional love frequency. Hold that in your heart space. I want you to feel that. Feel that unconditional love. It could be anything. Go back to that feeling. Go back to that connection. I want that unconditional love resonance to start off small inside of you. Maybe in your root or your sacral. Maybe in your solar or your heart. maybe in your crown chakra, wherever it is in your body, I want you to witness it growing and growing and growing, expanding bigger and bigger, just enveloping your entire body, your entire being, and then expanding out further and further and further, all the way around you. Now 10 feet away from you, 20 feet, enveloping everyone that you love, enveloping your home, your room, your living room, your pets, your children, your block, your town, your county, your state, expanding further and further and further, your country, and eventually that huge unconditional love frequency that's infinite expands around the world. We need to remember that today is not about fighting. Today is about holding the highest vibrational frequency in the universe and spreading that out infinitely so. As long as you are holding that love, unconditional love frequency in your system, you will be safe, you will be protected. But for extra protection, I want you to also imagine an invisibility cloak that drapes all around your aura. And this invisibility cloak is only invisible to any vibrational frequency that does not match your own. And any vibration that does match you can be in your space. Anytime you feel overwhelmed or lost or emotional throughout, I want you to come back to your breath, and I want you to come back to your unconditional love frequency. All right. So next, with everyone's eyes closed, I want you to imagine the planet. Imagine yourself floating just slightly away from planet Earth. You can see the atmospheric level of the Earth. You can see the beautiful planet itself. You can feel her unconditional loving energy. And then you start to tune into the planet's grid. And all of a sudden you see this beautiful, sacred geometric, golden light energy grid that surrounds planet Earth. I want you to connect your soul, your body, your frequency, all the way to the center, the crystalline center of Mother Gaia. And I want you to connect your soul, your body, your energy, your aura, all the way to the center of the universe, to source frequency. And with the above and below connection, I want you to see this cord connecting your heart chakra to the grid of planet Earth. Now, what I channeled right before hopping in here is that we are all meant to connect with Mother Gaia's grid in order to shift the timeline. And there's a battle going on in the astral realm of the planet, and there's a battle going on underneath the planet, and there's a bit of a battle going on around the Hadron Collider as well. So we're going to kind of hit up all of those locations today. As I mentioned, I will be your eyes, and we will just kind of go intuitively. I do want you to get your light weapons out. A lot of you know what they are, some of you do not, and a lot of you will experience your light weapons today for the first time. Okay. Yes, two more things that I want to talk about before we dive into it. First is a little bit of bilocation. You need to be aware of this bilocation teaching in order to get out of the battle safely. This is very important. When you want to leave the battle, and that can be at any time, I recommend staying till the end, but like I said, it can be at any time. Just do it appropriately. When you end up leaving the battle, I want you to bilocate which means taking your astral body, taking your remote viewing body, and I want you to pop yourself in and out of at least 10 different locations around the universe, around the solar system, around the planet. It really can be anywhere. But this is going to ensure that you are able to basically quantum leap in and out of different locations so that you are not followed back to your body. All right, it's kind of a standard practice, but it's important to mention. When you want to leave the battle, leave, but do not go directly back to your body. Pop in and out of several different locations in order to come back to your body alone. Okay. All right. And you are protected. You do have the invisibility cloak, so you should be good for the most part. This is just extra protection. Lastly, the other message that I got right before this battle is that each one of us who are here right now live, each one of us, even those who are not here live, I mean, what I feel is that there are hundreds of thousands, if not millions of beings right now, no matter there be terrestrial or etherical or physical or human, but there are, I would say millions of beings in this battle right now. Us as human beings, we are physically at certain locations that have portals or vortexes. This is confirmed. If you are hearing this live and even after so, you have a portal or a vortex near you physically that needs to be activated. So I want you all to close your eyes now. Even if you don't know where that portal is, don't worry about it. If you know where that portal or vortex is, I want you to focus on that location. I want you to emit balls of pure white light, pulsing energy into those portals to activate them. These portals are going to allow us to amplify the frequency of the planet. We are going to be activating portals. We are going to be activating the grid once again for unity consciousness today. That is our goal, to switch things over to a timeline. It's less about battling. It's more about unconditional love. All right. One more time. The way that we battle reptilian beings, shapeshifters, dark entities is through compassion and unconditional love. Then you transmute them. Battling them is taking dark and light and going at each other at an equal frequency vibration. All right. We can completely usurp the dark by essentially stepping into that unconditional love frequency. All your light weapons are the emittance of unconditional love frequency that will transmute the dark frequency. So do not get caught up in the battle necessarily, get caught up in the compassion, the love that you have for these beings, because we can all understand that we were once there too, in that darkness, separated from source. All right. Without further ado, let's dive into it. I don't even know where we're going to end up, but I am excited for the ride. Once again, I will be your eyes. Many of you can also see, and I'm sure you will get validated on where we're at, where we're going, what it looks like. So just 1 second. Center your energies, put up your armor, wrap around your invisibility cloak, get out your light weapons. Let's all start from above the earth. Let's just start from away from your portal, away from the grid. Let's go third-party perspective here. All right, so in the astral realm right now, as we speak, there is a whole battle going on between light and dark. And it's part of me feels like we need to completely just bring this wave of us, this tens of thousands of us in. Like I mentioned, there's a couple thousand here, but there are tens of thousands that are participating in this from all over the world who are showing up. They don't even know me. They don't know my content, but they know something is going on and they are ready. And this is why you haven't been getting any freaking sleep, is because you've been battling. But I want to tell you right now that I don't feel like going into the battle in the etheric realm yet. I don't feel I feel like that's a distraction. I feel like that's going on. It seems like a very intense battle. There's a lot of angelic forces in this battle. There's a lot of Galactic Federation warriors in this battle, this etheric battle. And it's almost like, if I could imagine a location for it, it almost feels like it's happening on Earth, but not on Earth. Like it's in the etheric realm connected to Earth. It's almost like if you could imagine a battle in heaven, this is what it would look like. Almost exactly what my background in this Zoom video looks like. It is this battle between dark forces and light forces. A lot of angelic beings. I want to go deeper. Like I want to go to the source of the issue. I don't want to dive into this distraction battle yet. I want to just check out the frequency of the planet. I want to see where we need to go to actually shut down their experiments and hop into a new timeline. 1 second. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I'm taking a look initially at the continent of Australia, and there's something going on underground there. And I think I'm being prompted to the Hadron Collider there in Australia. But it's funny because also now Africa is coming up here as well, like deep, and I'm talking like deep underground. Like it feels like it's a different facility. And believe it or not, there's actually these like deep underground bases or facilities, like very, very, very deep underground, and they connect to each other. It feels like the African and the Australian bases connect, but I feel like the connection goes way, way further than that. Like I feel like it's connected. It doesn't even matter the continents, because underneath the ocean, there's land and there's bases and there's stuff going on. It's interesting. It feels like, oh, this is interesting. It feels like there is a, how do I say it? It feels like it's a fake grid system that is taking place, like a dark grid, but it feels like it's technology driven rather than frequency driven, that is happening underground. And it's much smaller than the grid, the etheric grid that's happening above ground, above the etheric, above the line of the planet Earth. I just want to see what we need to do there. There's something that's happening there. Yeah, exactly. So now I'm getting reminded again by Sasha about the ambush that happened last week. And once again, they wanted to ambush before they hopped into this other timeline. And so where we want to go is we want to go to the center of where that ambush came from. Like, where is the power being held right now? I want to go there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. There's a place. Sasha has not been able to get in there with the rebel reptilians. I'm being drawn to Antarctica. I'm being drawn to the underground military bases in Antarctica. And there's like chaos almost that's ensuing there. But it's interesting because no white hats are basically, there's no one that can penetrate that base. I'm not going to go in yet because I just wanted to talk this out before we dive in there. There are military experiments that are happening in this base in Antarctica, and they're essentially trying to make a super soldier with their genetic technology and basically genetic technology. This is by far one of the darkest locations around planet Earth. This is the place that we need to hit up first. So here's what I want to do. I have, my whole body is starting to tingle. Oh, it's really intense. Like your energy is really intense together. Actually makes me want to cry. Okay. We all need to get together. So I already see us gathering above planet Earth, above the Antarctic base. We are not there yet. We are above it. We all need to get together tighter and tighter and tighter, bringing all of our astral bodies together tighter and tighter and tighter into this ball, this super like a black hole, but for white light energy, all coming together, getting brighter and brighter and denser and denser and brighter and lighter and more intense. And we've got angelics joining us. We've got hundreds of thousands of other remote viewers joining us for this battle, but everyone's dispersed right now. The battle is just happening all over planet Earth. Let's basically white light bomb this Antarctic base. Let's blow up their experiments. Let's just completely demolish their dark energy and bring it into pure white light. Let's help free these poor hybrid beings that they are experimenting on. Let's help free these poor creations that they've brought to life. I see it. Yes, we're gathering, we're getting bigger, brighter. The energy is getting immense. We're starting actually to draw attention, and we're starting to get attacked from above planet Earth. It's okay. They don't all see us yet. And we're swirling, we're moving, oscillating faster. And on the count of 3, I want to just blast this Antarctic military base with the most amount of unconditional love that you can muster. 1, spinning, oscillating. 2, growing. Even the ones who are trying to attack us, they can't even handle the light. And 3, let's just go down there and just ripple out this energy, just like hit the base, and then this huge ripple comes off of it. Let's just pulse our frequency there together in unison. Let's just show them our strength in unison. We don't even have to be individual at this point, and pulsing and pulsing and pulsing. And they don't even know what happened, but they knew this was coming. I think that's where that frantic energy was occurring from. There's a lot of people who are leaving. What else is going on? The remote viewers don't know what's going on in that base. There's reptilian beings who are now trying to fight us off, but they don't even know who to fight or where to go. They just don't even know where this energy is coming from. We've got angelic beings that are now coming in individually with their white light weapons, and they're transmuting dark reptilian forces. They're just so shocked. They just didn't expect this. There's so many battles going on around planet Earth. They wanted to distract us from this place. I want you to fill up all of the hallways, all of the great rooms, all of the underground passageways with your pure white light frequency and intention. And I want you to emit the frequency of freedom. Freedom. It's time to free the ones who have been enslaved, even though they don't realize they have been enslaved. It's so beautiful. From this it's like this wave of white light. Like it's almost like I couldn't even see any of you individually. It was just this wave that hit and billowed out and pulsated. But now I see a bunch of you that are separating from that white light wave, and it's so beautiful because I see these little orbs of energy separating off of this blanket of white light, and you're spiraling out as this little orb, and then you're popping into formation. Like it's like you're popping into your white light body, or you're popping into your astral remote body. It actually reminds me of what the spaceships do, right? They bring themselves into this orb frequency, and then they bring themselves into material form. And this is what you're doing. And I see a bunch of you now just all popping out individually and just battling. They don't even have the resources there. The majority of the dark resources are battling other battles around. I also want you to find the beings who've been through these awful experiments. I want you to help rescue them. I want you to maybe cross them over, bring them white light, bring them love frequency, bring them forgiveness, clear any guilt or shame that they may have. And I see right now there's a few of these, what do I call them, hybrid bodies that are on these stretchers, and they're tied down with their wrists and their ankles. And I literally see their astral bodies coming out. Their souls are coming out of their body because they're transmuting, they're moving on. And this is what we're doing. We're doing this at an energetic frequency level. Oh my goodness, it's so beautiful. I don't know if you would call this beautiful. I think it's beautiful, but there's all these hybrid bodies who are passing away. They're crossing, they're dying, which is beautiful. It is, because they've been trapped. It's very similar to the children. And so they're kind of in these like rooms, and it wouldn't be like a hospital. Like it's not bright and white. It's like almost like the complete opposite of that. It's just concrete and cold and damp down there. And they're all hooked up to like equipment to monitor their pulse and things, and like I guess their breathing, and all of them are going like flatline. They're all flatlining. They're flatlining. And it's interesting because there's someone there who is actually hiding out in a safe room, which is really like, I find it funny because they clearly don't know that they can't hide from energy, like frequency. You can't hide in a safe room. This is an energetic attack. This is not a physical one. And so there's like a sergeant or a corporal or someone who's in charge, like he's like a head honcho. And he's ran over to the safe room, and what was it? Oh yeah, he got a warning today. He got a warning. Someone warned him. And it's funny, I think it was I don't know what to call them, like a double agent or like a dark, a shapeshifter or someone. Anyway, I'm not surprised. Someone basically figured out that we were all going to get together and cause some havoc on this day at this time. And so this corporal or captain basically got this information beforehand, and he's hiding out. And this is why the energy there before we arrived was chaos, because they were thinking that they were going to get some sort of bomb threat, or they were actually thinking it was going to be quite physical, like a physical invasion, or the white hats potentially coming and storming in. It doesn't feel like the white hats are anywhere close to this base in Antarctica, but he's hiding. So I just want to see, talk to him or maybe transmute him. And all of you are doing great work. You're in all of the other rooms. You're liberating all of these beautiful hybrid beings, and it's chaos. It's complete chaos, and they don't even have resources. It's not even that big of a battle. Like there's not even that many reptilian soldiers there. They just didn't expect it. And it was difficult for them to bring any more resources into such a remote location. Okay, I just want to see if I can get keep up the love, keep up the white light. I just want to see if I can pull anything from this captain. He's completely, what do we call it, playing dumb. Like he's saying, I'm just taking orders. I'm just taking orders. Like he's totally not taking any responsibility for what they've been doing. I'm going to tell him very clearly, you know what, I'm going to gather all of the beings. The humans can't hear me as well. It's funny though, because this captain, when he heard me in his head, he's like, oh, you're one of those. Like you're one of, basically they're the remote viewer military people. But yeah, it was similar to that, but very different. I'm going to gather him and then the rest of the reptilians, and I'm going to make a statement here. No longer are you going to be able to experiment on souls anymore, on bodies. There is no need to find a super soldier. Moving forward, we are moving into unity consciousness. We are moving into peace on this planet. And if you want to continue these experiments or continue the absolute torture of these souls, then you are no longer going to be able to be here on this planet anymore. We are stepping in. The light is here. There's no need to fight anymore. Let's have peace and harmony on this planet. And if you continue to do what you've been doing here, we are going to come back, and you are once again going to be kicked off of this planet. There is not many choices for you other than to back down and to harmonize and to work on raising your own vibration, or to leave and to transmute into a higher vibration, to understand the lessons that you were learning on this planet. We appreciate what you've done up until this point, as far as allowing all of us to understand the dark side and the corruption and basically what you've been doing, and the perspective of this binary world and universe. But it's time to move on. It's time to let that go. You are not welcome here anymore in this vibration. All right, one more blast of pure white light love and energy and frequency. Let's go back up to the ethers. Let's go back up to just outside of Earth's atmosphere. Ooh, I'm getting this really intense, ow, sharp pain in my heart. Ooh, like a really sharp pain. I'm getting really hot too. Okay, I want us all to do some grid work. There's a lot of angelic beings around the grid. It's beautiful. It's golden. Oh, okay, the heart pain is gone. It's still there a bit. Let's inject pure, unconditional love frequency into the grid. Let's all connect our hands, our astral bodies, not together, but to the grid. The second that you connect to the grid, you are connected to every single life form around the entire planet and their consciousness, whether they are awake or just waking up or completely asleep or totally unaware or not. They are going to feel our presence. They are going to feel our blast. I want each of you to align yourselves to this pure golden frequency grid, but on the portal or vortex, not in between, not in the lines in between. I want you to focus and align yourself to the actual intersection of these lines around planet Earth. Yes, many triangles, many sacred geometry symbols. And once you find yourself there, you might feel a little bit spinny. You might feel a little bit maybe a little bit of overwhelm in your frequency and your vibration. But a lot of these portals and vortexes around the grid system are spinning. So you might feel a little spinny, a little dizzy, maybe a little vertigo energy. That's okay. Move through it and you can neutralize it as well. And I want you to blast out, just like we did at the base. I want you to blast out, and I see all of us, there's tens of thousands of us all doing this, along with many archangel and higher angelic forces that are all aligned to this golden frequency grid. I also see a lot of you individually on these portals, you're getting attacked. You might feel, especially on the back side of you, because I feel all of us are kind of almost laying on this grid. I want you to pulse out pure white light frequency, this pure, most unconditional love frequency from your heart chakra. The second that you pulse this out of your energetic system is the second that the dark energies or entities attacking you can no longer be there in your frequency anymore. They either instantaneously transmute to the white light, or they just remove themselves and move off, just kind of like a leech, an energetic leech. So blasting, and as you're blasting that unconditional frequency, I want you to hold the vibration of unity consciousness. This is the timeline that we are shifting into. They're doing their timeline shifting experiments. Remember, it is not about stopping their timeline experimentation. It is about utilizing the glitches in between the different timelines to shift into unity. We can do this through the grid. We have to do this through the grid, pulsing unity, pulsing unconditional love, hitting every single life form all around Mother Gaia, planet Earth. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. I just felt this pulse back, like this, like just full body chills. My body's heating up again. I just felt Mother Gaia from her crystalline core pulse out back to us, and it was so beautiful because it's almost like this like silvery forest green colored energy. And as she pulsed back to us, all of the portals on planet Earth, that's how basically her energy came through from the portals on the ground, and there was this energetic line, like it almost looks like veins coming out of planet Earth and going all the way up and connecting to this consciousness grid, this golden consciousness grid. And as she pulses back at us, it's almost like she's interacting with us. We're pulsing back at her unconditional love. She's pulsing unconditional love and thanks and gratitude back at us. And every single being, every single life form in between the pulses is getting activated, is transmuting their darkness, is purging out what no longer serves them, and is finally coming to terms with who the fuck they are so that they can be better individuals, more aware and more loving within themselves, because every being on this planet deserves to feel and embody unconditional love frequency. And it is then and only then when they can emit that unconditional love frequency to everyone else in their life. It starts from within. You are here because you have the ability to hold that frequency, and now we are pulsing that out, and now we are emitting that. And it's interesting because right now, as I'm talking, more troops, I don't know how else to call them, but more troops from the battle, the etheric astral battle, are now coming from the battle. They're realizing that, which is really funny that the battle that they used as a distraction for their nefarious agendas is now becoming a distraction for the light agendas, because all of a sudden we're doing the real work because we are not getting sucked into the battle that is happening in the etheric realm. So now a huge, large chunk of them are now following us to this energy grid and trying to basically rip us off or fight us off this energy grid. A lot of the angelic beings are following them and once again trying to transmute them. Wow, what a scene, what a scene. I feel like we just need to stay here for a bit. I want you to reconnect yourself to pure source frequency. I want you to bring this infinite white light frequency from source. I want you to bring it from the center of the universe, connect it to your astral body, and connect it to this energy grid. That way you are infinitely connected to the source of everything in the universe, which means that you will never tarnish, you will never decrease your frequency during this battle. And pulsating and pulsating and pulsating. And more light workers are coming from the planet. It's almost like the pulsating back and forth between Mother Gaia and the grid and us and the grid awoken more light workers to say, oh my God, something's going on, I got to go help. And now they're coming. So we've got reinforcements coming. And now what I want you to do, because we have these reinforcements and they're kind of getting directed into many different battles that are taking place, but a lot of them are getting directed to the grid as well. It almost feels like we're filling up every single vortex, every single pocket of the grid with a being, a pure white light being. If you feel called to, I want you to actually turn around, remove yourself from the grid, even though you're always infinitely connected to the grid. And I want you to start giving gratitude to the dark forces. Yes, you can use your white light weapons if you want to fill them up with gratitude of, thank you for being here. Thank you for showing us what duality is in the universe, especially on this planet, but you no longer need to be here anymore. You no longer need to keep vying for attention and power and control. This is no longer your planet to do so. If you want to do that, you have to leave. If you want to stay, you have to transmute. So I want you, if you feel strong enough, only if you feel strong enough, if you feel like you want to stay at the grid, stay at the grid, keep pulsing out pure white light energy coming from source and Mother Gaia, and she's pulsating back, not as frequently, but just as intensely. And so upon turning around and facing these dark entities, I want you to go ahead and hug them. I want you to hug them with the most amount of love in your heart. I want you to hug them with the most amount of happiness and joy in your heart. And they do not expect that. And they will either run as far away from you as possible, or they will transmute. It is so unexpected for them, for someone not to fight them, not to battle them, not to push them back, but to actually love them is so shocking for them that the majority of them transmute. And I see them. I see a bunch of you just hugging them like so intently, and they're poofing. I don't know how else to say that. They're poofing into like 1,000 million little dark pieces, and those pieces are transmuting into the light. And I feel this reprieve. I feel the most amount of reprieve from their soul to say, finally, it's over. Finally, it's over. Finally, I can have my freedom. A lot of pain. They're retreating. The ones who do not want to transmute, the ones who are seeing what's happening, they're leaving. Even the etheric battle, they're retreating, they're leaving, which honestly is not necessarily a good thing. It means that they're still around. Okay, I feel like I know what we need to do next, and it involves Archangel Michael. He's here, he's beside me to my right. We need to go to the planet. There's quite a few who Okay, let's say this. Let's say this. Okay, there are hundreds of thousands of souls right now, like etheric astral bodies and remote bodies that have been invited to this battle. They are in the battle. Our group right here in particular. So there's, like I said, hundreds of thousands of beings all around the planet and in the universe who are here to help us. We are a very specialized group. We are doing something beyond what everyone else is prompted to do. They are going to replace us in the golden grid frequency. They're going to replace us. They're going to continue to pulse out a white light frequency. With Archangel Michael, our specialized group, we need to go down to the planet and we need to target, and we're getting permission. We're getting permission for this. Because we need permission and we need permission for this. Yes, here we go. We're getting permission from the Galactic Federation to do this, specifically to do this to the beings, the souls, the human beings who are needing and asking for help and assistance. There are a lot of human beings on the planet, especially men, okay, who are stuck. They are stubborn. They are hitting a wall right now. They are refusing to have an ego death, but they want to change, but they don't know how to change. What this means is that there are humans who need our help and assistance, who have asked for help and assistance, but the Galactic Federation do not have enough resources to help each and every one of them. So what we're going to do is we are all individually, we're all connected together, kind of like we are all connected in this grid energy, and we are all going to go to the surface of the planet, and we are going to find an individual soul who needs our help. And you are going to do exactly what you just did with all of the reptilian and the entities. You are going to hug them with the most amount of unconditional love, and they are going to have their breakthrough. They are going to have their spiritual, their aha moment. They are going to, there's the heart pain again. They are going to experience unconditional love frequency, maybe for the first time ever. And I want to let you know that this could potentially be someone that you know, but also I would say no, because your ego is going to get in the way of, are they asking for permission or not? I think that you just need to go to whoever you're called to. So once again, let's go from the grid, the atmosphere of planet Earth. Let's go all the way down to planet Earth. And the closer you get, the clearer it is of the location that you're being drawn to, down and down, deeper and deeper, in and in, and there you are. You've arrived at your person. Maybe they're going about their life. Maybe they're in the office. Maybe they're just mulling around at home. Maybe they're making dinner. Maybe they're on the walk. Maybe they're doing whatever. Okay, maybe they're sleeping. I want you to find your person, that individual who really needs assistance, and I want you to hug them once again with the most amount of unconditional love frequency, and let them know it's okay. You are love. And it's okay to let go. It's okay to break down. It's okay to break through. You are here for a reason, and we are grateful for you. And you will feel that reprieve within that individual. You will feel that reprieve. If you feel a resistance or a pushing, back off and go to another individual. Let's do this for about 5 to maybe even 10 people, okay? If we can all do this to 5 or 10 actual human beings who we can wake up and help ascend, then we have awakened a lot of individuals. We have healed a lot of people on this planet, and there is no more resistance. The amount of resistance and battle is completely gone. They're away. They've left. Even the etheric battle is done. It's stopped. They have retreated, which is fine. And I don't feel the need to go after them necessarily. Let's go ahead and do this. And we can do this over and over and over again at a quantum light speed, is transmuting these human beings, hugging, embracing unconditional love, safety, protection, unity, transmutation, and move on. And again, and again, and again. Okay, I need to chat with Archangel Michael about what we need to do with the timeline hopping. Or maybe I just need to ask him if we've shifted things. I just need to know if we need to go somewhere else. But in the meantime, I want you to continue to hug and transmute your fellow human beings, okay, from all over the world. There are so many in need. Interesting. Okay, so there is definitely a top secret Hadron Collider underground, deep underground. I feel like it's in Australia. I feel like I keep getting drawn back to Australia, but it really could be widespread. It could be anywhere. And this is kind of where they're opening up these timelines and these portals, and they're kind of messing with our future. So I asked Archangel Michael, like, what's going on there, and do we need to go there and maybe blast a little bit? And he said, no, that we don't need to. He said they actually stopped experimenting today, and for that very reason of basically the pure white light coming in. Yeah, so they stopped, but we've still affected the timelines because they're almost like tippy-toeing around their agendas now. And so I'm really curious what the Galactic Federation has to say after this about what kind of effect we did, and if we need to maybe go back and do another one like in 2 weeks or something. Yeah, so I don't really know the fullest extent of the effects, and neither does Archangel Michael. I just want to ask if there's anything else we need to do. Okay. So I guess one last thing that I want to mention is, it's funny because we're right on time. Time does not exist in that place. At any point in time, you can go back to the golden frequency grid of planet Earth, and I really implore you to do so, and just pulsate that pure white light, unconditional love, because you help tens of thousands of people when you do that. If you feel like you haven't been sleeping, if you feel like you haven't been actually resting, then I recommend that you actually tell your spirit guides, I want to remove myself from the battle. I also feel like, though, they're going to stop their nefarious agenda. And like I mentioned, it might be just stop for a week because we didn't get to all of them before they retreated. And like I said, I didn't feel like going after them to that extent. And so interesting. So yeah, so it's about navigating, right? If you feel like I need a break, you can take a break. But I also feel like all of us are going to feel way better. Like, I feel like the reason why all of us have been not sleeping and exhausted and having all of these symptoms is because we've been called to do that battle. We've been called into battle. We've been doing the double shift. So I feel like regardless if you ask for it or not, we're all going to get a pretty good sleep tonight because they're stepping away and they're reassessing what their next move is with their plan. Once again, the Galactic Federation will tell us way more about. I know for a fact that G from the Arcturian Timeline Council is for sure the main person we need to talk to today about what did we just do and how did we affect the timelines in a positive way, and what is basically plan B for the nefarious agendas. Like, what can we expect or anticipate? Okay, so I implore you all to go back to the grid when you feel a little bit more revamped, when you feel like more energized or like at max capacity. The second thing I recommend that you do is go visit people, okay, in your astral travel, maybe right before bed, and go hug people, all right, and transmute them, actual human beings. Please go do that and continue that. And for the time being, I hope that you all, and if you haven't, please pop in and out of many different timelines, realities, dimensions, places. okay? And then back into your body. So please ground yourself back in your body, smell an essential oil, burn some sage, get some crystals going, maybe get up and do some stretching, but ground yourself back in your body. I don't have a fear whatsoever of you being targeted or attacked after this because they left. Of course they did. They could not confront that pure white light frequency. So they didn't even have the capacity to follow us. They didn't even have the resources to follow us because they were so scared of us, which is really nice. That usually never happens. Like usually they're always looking for round 2 battle, right after we kind of come in. So oh man, okay, I'm gonna go ground and probably do a little bit of stretching before the Galactic Federation Summit. I've got tons of questions like what's happening at this time? Did we shift the timeline? What's going on with the light and dark battle? What about the individual crystalline upgrades? I am so curious about our physical body right now. I've been getting tons of downloads about these crystalline upgrades. I wanna know more about that and what we can do about that. Dark agendas, collective humanity, what's next for us? I mean, I have so many questions for the GFL. So get your ticket now if you don't have it already. If you're in a weird time zone and it's really late for you, then you can always pick up the recording after as well. As always, thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for just being open-minded. And I hope that today you got some validation of, oh my goodness, I am powerful. I actually do these things. I was experiencing or feeling or even seeing things that I don't usually experience. This is just the beginning for you. Yeah, I'm just so grateful to have all of you here rather than me kind of going on my lonesome and doing this. It's far more powerful that way. So I will see all of you in about 30 minutes for the Galactic Federation Summit. Bye for now.